Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1234. Ooh, that's a fun one. 1234, episode 1234. Happy Tuesday. Getting to the end of July. Can't believe that. July was the good news. We talked a little bit about eBay sales yesterday. I was looking at my numbers last night. Going into July, I was expecting July to be, I'm going to exceed my expectations for the month of July. Now, I always go in with really low numbers, and I kind of, they were realistic, my expectations for July based on what I do in March typically, or what I did in March this past year. So I kind of wanted to cut that number in half since I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. And I think that has more, I think there's going to be more suppression being gone that amount of time compared to just, 8 days when I'm at spring training. So going in, I had really low expectations for my July sales. I think part of the reason I'm having a better July, well, it's twofold. Number one is the inventory. I've taken in some good inventory this summer, which I did list over 1,000 cards while I was in Europe. I had scanned about 1,400 cards into Card Dealer Pro, all vintage, ready to go. Pretty easy to scan those through or scan them over once they're in Card Dealer Pro because the AI is 98% accurate on that stuff. So just go through, do some checking, and got most of that uploaded while I was in Europe. I think that helped a little bit. And then once I returned, I hit the ground running, and I, didn't, once we get some shitty sleep, next day I'm all day listing and shipping and listing, and just kind of continued that the first week and kind of have carried that on. And it's led to one of my better months of the entire year. I think right now I rank fourth of this will be the 8th month. Is that right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 7. I should know that because July is the 7th month. So 4 out of 7, not bad. I think the worst month, I don't have the right spreadsheet open right now, but I think March probably was going to be, March is my worst. I thought July was going to be going to rank 7 out of 7. I think January is actually barely ahead of March. What the hell was I doing in January that my sales were so bad? But I'm happy, very happy with my July results to date. We still have 2 full days to get those numbers even further. So that's a good thing. So eBay sales have been good. Of course, a lot has to do with what I've been listing in the month of July, and that's been selling, and that's what we want to do. So just kind of an update on that. Today, I want to talk about pricing cards and bargain boxes because it's a question I get asked often. I haven't really touched on it too in depth here. But I get asked most of the time. I get asked at the actual card show when I'm set up with my dollar boxes and quarter boxes, and people are like, "Well, how do you know?" One of my dealers and a good friend of mine asked me at the last Madison card show a couple of weeks ago. He's like, "So I've got all this stuff," and he's like, "I don't know how to price it." He's like, "I don't want to comp it. I just want to throw it in a box with like a price." So I was, looking through his stuff, and his stuff was a little harder to gauge because some of it's a little better than, basically I have quarter box stuff and dollar box stuff. And then once my quarter box stuff goes stale, it goes into a dime box. So that's the dime box is easy. But the quarter box and dollar box, it's like, okay, what's going to go in my quarter box? What's going to go in my dollar box? I was doing some stuff last night getting a lot of I'm focusing on dollar cards for the next show that I'm at in Janesville, Wisconsin, Sunday, August 11th. And it's like, what am I going to put in a dollar box and in a dime box? What I was doing last night was pretty easy. Okay, if I was working on the vintage 70 stuff that I have left over, and it's like, okay, if it's beat up, it's going in the quarter box. If checklists are marked, it's going in the quarter box. If they're clean, crease-free, dollar box cards. That's easy, but it gets a little more difficult when you're dealing with some stuff. And my buddy Mark was, he had some like a Jose Berrios auto numbered to like 150, and it's like, well, I wouldn't put this in the dollar box. Like this is but if you put it for 10, I don't know what it comps. Like that's something I would have to comp. Like I just don't know. Like, but in Madison, Wisconsin, Jose Berrios, who I think is with the Blue Jays now, formerly with the Minnesota Twins. But he's a player, like he's not in demand. Like you could put that auto of 150 in a dollar box at a card show in Wisconsin, and it maybe not sell, even at $1. And it's certainly not, you could list it on eBay for 10 and it might sell. You might be open to offers. It might sell for 7 or 750. So that's in a lot of my mindset is driven by my eBay. So that's why I think not all bargain boxes are created equal, because some think in terms of, okay, well, I can put this on eBay. Some just are breakers, and it's like, well, if it's not an auto or super short print or short print, it's going in the bargain box. And it's like, well, shit, I could sell this on eBay for $5. He's got it in his quarter box or dollar box. So those are some of the things I think through. We'll go more in depth. Let's get to the chat. Happy Tuesday morning. Hey, something good this morning. Without even trying, I broke the 202 mark in my healthy journey. And I guess I could call it weight loss, because I am looking to lose some weight. Obviously, I wouldn't, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be looking at a scale, right? But I've July has just kind of went off the rails. My eBay sales, great. My weight loss journey, not so great. It's plateaued, which I kind of thought it would for two reasons. Number one being, in my previous weight loss journeys, it usually when I go in, it comes off, the first 10 pounds comes off no problem. That's the easy part. And then once I get past that 10, maybe even this time 15 pounds, and then it's a battle. Then I've got to work for it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, where I'm battling. I've got to the 15 point mark, and now it's like, to get under 200, it's like, oh my God, this is going to be difficult. I might actually have to use the treadmill or something. Maybe the e-bike ride tipped me under the 202 mark. So I'm at 20 this morning. I weighed in at 201.9, but it's the lowest I've weighed in quite some time, several years. So, but 2 weeks I was, in Europe. You're eating out, we were probably eating only 2 meals out. I would say on average, we would sometimes have like a light lunch, and then we would go out for dinner, or we would have a heavier later lunch and then skip dinner. So that was kind of our routine while we were over there. Ate some chocolate, ate out, every day, but was putting on 15 to 20,000 steps walking around. So it was just kind of keeping any gain off. And I think I came in like net zero, basically. I came back the same weight I went over there with. And then coming back is the issue, because now I'm not doing 15,000 steps a day, sitting in my basement shipping and listing cards. And just kind of haven't stuck to that old diet that I did. And I think, and I see, I'm going to get to all the comments here in a second, but I do see a comment that I'm going to post here from John. And so I think this is, at first I thought it was going to be what I've been doing. But so John says, eat when you wake up. Don't eat past 6 p.m. Keep your metabolism going with low-cal snacks between meals. And as always, buy Bitcoin. So my issue, I feel that if I eat first thing, I'm more hungry. When I eat first thing, I'm more hungry. And I guess it probably also depends what I've been eating. And I try to eat like, before Europe, I was eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, and I'm still eating kiwi, banana, tomatoes, but not, I haven't been sprinkling in, and I snack on carrots. Carrots is kind of a snack, but now what I'm finding is I'm still hungry. Whereas before I wasn't, and the mushroom coffee hasn't been, that's supposed to help me before Europe, it was like, I wasn't hungry. So, what I've noticed is when I drink a water and drink my mushroom coffee and then eat a light breakfast, that helps me. That's more helpful to me than, otherwise I'm craving. I get cravings if not. And so I'm still eating healthy even when I drink my water, drink my mushroom coffee, and then hold off on eating. I'm still eating healthy and I'm not getting those cravings. So here I am. So need to go to the grocery store, get some more fruits and vegetables. And I think the last time I went to the grocery store, I was just not in the mood to go grocery shopping. And so and my grocery store, and I bitch about it every time and I keep going back. My blood pressure is going to go up just thinking about it. Like, you walk in and there's no, it's just a free for all. And it's like, there's fucking apple crates here and bananas here and onions and avocado. And they're in like these little kiosks, and people are like, there's no clear route to anything. And so it's a maze. It is literally a maze trying to navigate the fucking produce section. And even the last time, and I think this is probably why I'm done with grocery shopping. I walked in and it's just a fucking annoying produce section. And even I heard other people complaining like, oh, this is such a terrible setup. And this is like their new setup. It's like, what are you doing? And I want to ask somebody, but then I don't want to be a dick about it and be like, why does this suck so much? And they're like, fuck, I don't know. I didn't design this damn store. That's what I'd say in a polite manner. So anyway, so I didn't buy as much produce. You would think, but maybe they have it that way. So you're stuck in there. You're stuck in the maze of produce. And so that leads you to buy more. For me, I just want to get the fuck out of there. F-bombs. Thank you, red light. We're dropping some F-bombs today, baby. That goddamn produce section at Metro Market. Fuck. That Metro Market produce section. So yes, I just want to get the hell out of there. It doesn't make me stick around and buy more produce. It makes me want to just get the hell out of there. So I got the hell out of it. Didn't buy as much produce as I should. So my wife went in, and I failed to buy more Diet Coke last time. I always underestimate how much my wife drinks Diet Coke. My God, she can slam them, man. She goes through that Diet Coke. And so she's like, I got to go to the grocery store, get some Diet Coke. We're low on what are we going to do for dinner type food. So my wife's the picky one, and she's always the one, well, what do you want for dinner? It's like, and I can throw out 7 options and she doesn't want any of those options. So that's why, hey, I'm good with a turkey sandwich, or I'm good with peanut butter and jelly. You're the picky one. So if you want dinner, you make the decision. I can't make that decision because the decisions I make, you don't want. This is a constant, and this will forever be a constant. So she comes back from the grocery store. Would you think that she would get dinner food? She comes back with Diet Coke and goldfish. Not the aquarium type, but the cracker type. And I'm like, is this dinner, goldfish and Diet Coke? So she asked about 7 times, what do you want for dinner? And I said, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood for dinner last night. It's like, so I had a turkey sandwich. Like, I was hungry, but it's like, I don't want to fuck around with anything. So I'm just having a turkey sandwich. I think my wife had left, which my wife rarely eats leftovers, but she made like a potato casserole, which I don't really care for. It's got like bran flakes on top, which I actually do like bran flakes. That's actually part of what I've been eating. Get that fiber and make me regular. Some banana, cut up a banana with some bran flakes. I looked when I was like really hardcore starting this weight loss journey. I looked at like when it came to cereal, I was looking at like what has the least amount of sugar and all that other crap. And it was like the most bland bran flakes I could find. And they're okay. I actually don't mind them. So that's what I had for dinner last night, turkey sandwich. Where are we at? Steve's in the house. Good morning, Steve. George, what's happening? Victor, good morning. Howdy, Peter. What's up? Cooter's in the house from I-35. He's heading to Texas. Dustin's here. Good morning. Boston Smoke's in the house. Good morning to you. Philly Joe, what's up? John wants to know, how many days in a row does your head need to tolerate that hat? I don't think I'm going to get a haircut today. I need a haircut, so that's why I wear a hat. And I don't feel like getting a haircut today. So maybe I'll get a haircut tomorrow. So you're probably going to put up with the old style hat again tomorrow. So at least one more day. Good morning, Tracy. What's up? It's also the top hat in my hat box. So I just grabbed the top hat. Kyle says, good morning. On the road today. Caught up on some of John's basement tapes awaiting Hobby Evolution. I think we're at 287 now. I think I watched a little bit of 286 yesterday. Chris says, you're always in inspiration. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Double A Cards, good morning. Great movie. Robin Williams, good morning, Vietnam. Royals 417, good morning to you. John Myers in the house. A good friend of mine likes to do only diamond dollar boxes. The thinking is it's easier to calculate a total and it's a nice value for the customer. Absolutely. That's actually a good point because quarter boxes, it's like I've got 67 cards. It's like shit. 67 divided by 4 is like, I don't know, like 12 bucks. I don't know. Usually I get my calculator out because the thing is usually I calculate it by 20 cents if you get a stack of like 67. So basically if you came up into my quarter boxes, I'm going to take a calculator out like I've never taken a math class. And 67 times 20 is what I can do it in my head now. I didn't do anything. So 67 basically here's how, because I do tip math all the time. Like we're at a restaurant, it's like, okay, well 20%, that's easy. What's 10% of 67? $6.70. So that's $13.40. Is that correct? 67 times 0.2, $13.40. See, I can do it here, but I like when I'm like in the but there's so much distractions. And you know how I am with distractions. Oh, squirrel. There's 12 ducks in my backyard this morning. There was an interesting showdown. I think they've gone back to the pond. There's an interesting showdown at my bird feeder. There was a rabbit and a duck. And they were just like staring at each other. It was weird, but not in like a mean way. It was in like a, what are you doing here way? This is my bird feeder. And that's why I can't do math at card shows. So that's kind of how I roll it. So $13.40 and I'd be like 12 bucks. You get 20 cents off and I'll give you even a further discount even on that. But that's, yeah, I like that because it's easy math. Easier the better. How much time do you put into prepping your value boxes? I wouldn't say, I mean, it could be hours. It just depends. Sometimes it's as easy as just sorting through and it's like, oh, quarter, and they go into a box. Dollar box is a little more time because I sleeve and top load all of my dollar boxes. So the dollar boxes are sleeved and top loaded or card savers. I think I might run out of, I'm going to have so many dollar cards this month in Janesville that I'm probably going to have to go to card savers. So yeah, it takes a little more time to do that. That's worth, quarter boxes, I don't even sleeve. Dime boxes, quarter boxes, I don't sleeve. If they're already sleeved, they stay sleeved. But if not, they just go in raw. They're raw dogged. So now, initially, when I started doing card shows, I sleeved every card. I think I bought like 40,000 penny sleeves and sleeved every goddamn card I had in the quarter boxes. And that took a lot of time. That was also during COVID. So I was working from home. So it's like, oh, I'm just going to sleeve some cards while I'm sitting at my desk. I don't do that anymore because time's more valuable now. John says, which bathroom do you use when wearing a shirt with that color? So this, by the way, this shirt, I don't know if I've ever worn this on the show. You're like, who the hell is Deaky Van? It's purple, by the way, because Deaky Van is a make-believe basketball player from my alma mater, Western Illinois University. This is also a COVID thing. So during COVID, it was a fascinating series. I'm going to type in Deaky. Deaky Van even has his own Twitter account. Deaky Van. So Deaky Van was the first superstar in a make-believe blog from sports writer Ricky O'Donnell. So that's Ricky O'Donnell with Seattle. He was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics. So basically, Ricky O'Donnell started writing this blog during COVID using college basketball, like EA Sports College Basketball 2008, I think, or 2004. And during that time, the early 2000s, Western Illinois basketball was just absolutely brutal. One of the worst teams in Division I. And so whatever year that was when Western Illinois was really bad. And so they were like the worst ranked team on this video game. So Ricky O'Donnell says, I'm going to try to take this. He went into like coach mode and created a coach. And he's like, I'm going to try to take the worst team on this game and build them into a national champion. And he did. They were actually in the 40 seasons that he played, and he like didn't actually play every game. He did a lot of sims. I think they won like 9 championships. So and Deaky Van was like the first breakout superstar. And so then Deaky Van was like the national player of the year on this video game. And so there were shirts, and of course it's my alma mater, and the Washington Post did an article on this series. It was kind of viral for a moment in time. COVID was crazy, man. Tiger King and fake basketball players with t-shirts. So that's the story behind the shirt. It was fun. So just type it in. I'm going to try to find. So Ricky O'Donnell. Let's see. Western Illinois, Ricky O'Donnell. Tremendous upside potential. SB Nation. So I think it was through SB Nation. So Western Illinois, year 40. 2046 47 2K8. It was College Hoops 2K8 was the video game. And it's on SB Nation. So just type in like Ricky O'Donnell SB Nation or SB Nation Western Illinois if you want to read all about it. So here's a recap going into year 40, which is the final year in this simulation. Western Illinois entered year 39, trying to three-peat as national champions for the first time in program history. We lost 2 starters early to the NBA coming into the season, but still had enough talent to be ranked number 10 overall in the preseason polls. We ran through the regular season schedule, losing only 1 game to UCLA during the non-conference season and sweeping Summit League opponents once again. We entered the NCAA tournament at 29-1 and earned a number 4 seed to the Big Dance. See, mid-majors get no love in the seedings. We beat Brown in round 1, knocked off Georgia Tech in the round of 32, beat Indiana in the Sweet 16, but lost to Florida in the Elite 8. We now enter the final season of my career tied with John Wooden with 10 national championships. We added 3 players in our last ever recruiting class, a 5-star JUCO small forward Gerald Obasohan, 4-star shooting guard Irwin Walls, and 4-star power forward Kenny Butler. So there you go. There's a little insight. It was fascinating, especially since it's my alma mater. John says, eat when... Oh, we talked about that. Good morning, Brian. What's going on? Cheers to Casey's Pizza. Yeah, by the way, I think the big news of the day, I haven't had a Casey's Pizza in like 3 months. But if you live in Florida, if you live in Texas, if you live in Alabama, if you live in Mississippi, you just may get a Casey's near you, and you can enjoy the most delicious pizza the world has been gifted. Casey's General Store, and my favorite, the Casey's Taco Pizza. So Casey's General Store is based out of, I think, Ankeny, Iowa. I believe they, or I don't believe, I read the article this morning, I tweeted it, they did buy Cefco, I think. Not CEFQ, not the bank, but Cefco, which I believe must be gas stations in the South, in Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, and Texas. So if there's a Cefco in your neck of the woods and you've never experienced the deliciousness of Casey's Taco Pizza, you may be in luck. So that's big news for our Southern folk. John says, do your Kegel exercises. 99 Cents Card CA says, thoughts on Burbank moving off eBay. We went in depth with that on Sunday, I think. So go back to Hobby Evolution episode, which I believe would have been 1232. I think the title is all about eBay because we talked about store categories and Burbank. So check that episode out. I believe that was in the all about eBay episode on Sunday. John says, you need to jumpstart your metabolism. That's why you nosh between meals as well. As you know, it takes time for your body and mind to adjust. You can't change urges in a week. That is true. Burbank chat was yesterday. I thought it was Sunday. Was it Sunday? What did we talk about yesterday? Trade. We talked about trades yesterday. So it was Sunday. Brian says, Kegels, the secret to a healthy weight in eBay sales on your next episode of Hobby Evolution. Mr. Archer, good morning. And stop posting pictures about Casey's Pizza. That probably tends to lead to cravings. Now I'm hungry for some Casey's breakfast pizza. Orlando, what's going on? Do you have a Cefco around you, Orlando? We're dropping F-bombs. That fucking produce section at Metro Market, man. Hope Biscuit is doing okay. Drinking cold water will spike your metabolism. Here's to cold water. So Biscuit's hanging in there. She had an appointment yesterday with the oncologist. She now has lymphoma, which we found out at her vet appointment. But her heart condition's terminal. Like it's kind of like it's basically like any day. Like any day she could go into another heart failure, which is probably going to be the end, which is most likely going to be the end. So at this point, it's just she's still, alert and eating and doing all that stuff. So, we keep her going and keep her out of pain and, try to get as much time as we can without putting her in pain and misery. So we took her to the oncologist appointment yesterday. So she got a little shot of something. And then some steroids. So, and we have to give her these steroids every night, which basically the shot of whatever we gave her for the lymphoma takes, how the vet told us was it takes it from like here to here, but like it only lasts a week. So it goes back like this. But with the steroids, it flattens the curve basically. Hey, speaking of COVID, that was another COVID era saying, flatten the curve. So it basically flattens the curve. So that's where we're at. But she got nasty with me this morning. She snapped at me. She was very comfortable. We go out. She has to take her meds at 7. She's on Lasix, which is a diuretic. So she and the steroids also enhance her thirst and peeing. So she was just like, she wanted a belly rub, but she didn't want to get up out of bed, which, hey, I don't blame her. I'm crabby in the morning too sometimes. But she eventually got up, got her fresh water. She peed. She took her cheese with her meds. And now she's back in bed, snoozing. George says, I don't even want to talk about produce sections where I live. Anything you buy will rot by the time you get to the front door it's like Woodman's. It's like the Woodman's produce section here. And of course, they like to package stuff like fruits with a few decent pieces on top. Everything else below it is rotten. Ugh. No bread, cheese, or pasta. See, I'm okay with cheese and not eating cheese and pasta. Bread is difficult because I do like a bagel in the morning, and maybe that's what's been causing my cravings. Is I've been eating bagels instead of just fresh. When I was really going good, I felt I was going good. I was eating basically a banana and a couple kiwis, and that was it for breakfast. Where here lately, I've been eating a bagel with like a tomato. And I try to get a banana every day too. Mark says, good morning. I was just going to say that, John, I lost 40 pounds during COVID by cutting out sugar, cheese, and white flour, ramped up the cardio as well. I want to do it without cardio. I want to do it without ramping up cardio. And I think the reason why the 15 pounds came off so fast was cutting out sugar and cutting down on alcohol. And cutting back on what I drink, instead of drinking Spotted Cow, drinking Michelob Ultra. Spotted Cow tastes a lot better, but it also has 13 grams of carbs compared in one bottle compared to 2.6 in a Michelob Ultra. Grinding for good. Happy Tuesday. What's going on? John Myers says Old Style is a hipster beer. I think the hat's cool. So maybe I'm a hipster for wearing it. John says a top hat would actually be better, not the top hat. George says we have pretty much come to the conclusion that even though we live in a produce farm area, they sell all the good stuff to Seoul and leave the rejects for the local market at extremely high prices. Bummer. Fernando, what's going on? Good morning. John says divided by 2, then divided by 2. Talking about 20%. Mark Marinello says, how do you feel about the Morel trade? Talked about that in depth yesterday. I like it. Thought it was a great trade. Christian, good morning. Sorry I'm late. I was watching Dan Campbell's Daily Presser. Can't wait for football. I can't wait for Hard Knocks. Chicago Bears, baby. Looking forward to it. When does it start tonight, or is it next week when it begins? Card Hobbyist says, my dog stares at my neighbor's goats, probably wondering why those dogs look so weird. That's funny. You guys are funny looking. Craig's Trends, what's up? If my wife came home with goldfish and diet soda, I'd be calling a divorce lawyer. You are a patient man. Cooter says, I just passed the exit that led to the Tiger King's sanctuary. Oh, yeah. He was an Oklahoma guy, wasn't he? Christian says, sports writer Mitch, is it album or album? Did a fake World Series during the 1994 strike. That's cool. I know some people are not into the fantasy what if type scenario. I love them. I absolutely love that stuff. I think it's great reading. Mikey says, good morning. I'm currently shipping 50 orders out from this weekend. Congrats. Good numbers. John says, this Deaky story reminds me of LARPers. Yeah, it's like the sports version, I think. Cooter says the first thing I ever sold on eBay were Tiger King for Governor signs. They brought $300 each. COVID was crazy, man. COVID was crazy. John has a winning $2 Powerball ticket from the Vinton, Iowa Casey's. It'll cost me $598 to redeem it. Your opinion on Casey's Pizza will change once you have any of those pizzas from the menu I sent you last night. So Cooter and I are planning our road trip to the Dallas Card Show coming up in a couple months. So those pizzas look good, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think anything's going to sway me from Casey's Pizza. The thing that cannot change about a pizza in my mind on a pizza is the nostalgia. Like you can't fight nostalgia. Now, do I honestly think Casey's Pizza is the greatest pizza on earth? Yes. Actually, no, I don't. But it's fucking good. So fucking good. Brian's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. That dude from Duryea says, what kind of pizza is Casey's? So it is not thin New York style. It is not deep dish. It's not fried. It's not cardboard. I live in the Northeast, so we know good pie. So it's how would I compare it? It's similar, I guess. It's similar to if you've ever had, and this is going to sound terrible because I'm going to compare it to a frozen pizza, and being in the Northeast, you're going to be like, oh, that's awful. But it's got the consistency, the dough consistency, but it's softer. It's a soft dough consistency. And like the taco pizza has taco sauce and tomatoes and lettuce and Doritos. What else is? I think that's about it. And then there's regular sausage. There's cheese. They used to have a barbecue pizza, which it was just barbecue, which was amazing. They don't have it anymore. At least they don't have it here. I think some locations may have it, but they don't have it around me. They have like a barbecue chicken and there's onions and bacon on it. And it's like, no, I don't want onions and bacon on my pizza. Not with my barbecue chicken. So it's kind of hard to explain. I can bring up a picture. I can show a picture. The Casey's breakfast pizza is the goat of breakfast pizzas. So let's go to the menu. So I'm going to share my screen once I get to the pizza. Okay, here we go. So they have a barbecue pulled pork pizza, which is new. See, this is not helping my diet. Now I'm getting cravings. But I'm doing it for you. I'm doing this for you. All right. So here's the barbecue pulled pork pizza. It looks like there's pickles on it, which I can do pickles on a pizza. So single topping. Let's go. So specialty pizzas. This is where we're going to find the taco. So we're just going to go to the taco pizza. So that's a taco pizza. It's got sausage, cheese, lettuce, tomato, Doritos, and I guess I could just also read it. So our taco pizza starts with refried beans and salsa, beef or chicken, mozzarella cheese, and is finished with lettuce, tomatoes, taco chips, and cheddar cheese. The taco chips are basically Doritos or a knockoff Doritos. So that's your taco pizza. This is the barbecue chicken pizza. Barbecue sauce topped with grilled chicken, smoked bacon, onion, and our real mozzarella cheese. Chef's tip, add banana peppers for the ultimate barbecue experience. See, I could certainly do without the onion. The bacon on a pizza, I know this is terrible to say to some people, but I just think bacon is overrated. So here's the barbecue pulled pork pizza. Oh, I don't know. It's got those red onions on it. So it's got Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce topped with real mozzarella, slow smoked pulled pork, bacon, cheddar cheese, red onion, and thick cut pickles. So you kind of see the dough. It's a thicker dough, and it's really soft dough. And then they have regular sausage pizza, and whatever. Here's the breakfast pizza. The bacon, don't like the bacon pizza. This is the GOAT, the sausage breakfast pizza. And it is a slice of heaven. So it starts with a cheese sauce or sausage gravy and is topped with scrambled eggs, breakfast sausage, mozzarella, and cheddar cheese. Oh, it's so good. I wonder what the calories are on this. Does it even say? I'm just curious you probably have to build it before it says. So there you go. There's a little slice of what Casey's Pizza is all about. Brian says it's not thin, not thick. Not thin, not thick. It's the best pizza is breakfast pizza and taco. I agree with Brian. Taco and the breakfast are the best. I think if you get like a cheese pizza from Casey's, you're going to be disappointed. It's like, this is just a pizza. You've got to get the Casey's taco pizza or the breakfast pizza. The sausage is okay. If you get sausage on it, you get a little slice of the goodness, but it's still, you've got to have the breakfast or taco to really experience the deliciousness of a gas station pizza. Brian sold 11 laptops overnight on Saturday. Now on to the MacBooks. Holy moly. What are you doing, mining Bitcoin? 11 laptops. Travis says, good morning. Since you're a Bears fan, are you really going to sell that Peyton rookie? Oh, fuck yes, I am. You goddamn right I am. When you get it back from PSA, I couldn't do it. He's the greatest Bear. Yeah. So I'm not a Bears collector. Like, I'm a Bears fan, but I'm not a Bears collector. In fact, if it was an Ernie Banks rookie, I would still sell it. And the reason why, in the condition, like if it were an Ernie Banks in the same condition, because, well, an Ernie Banks in the same condition would go for a lot more, but based on the price. And if I wanted a Walter Payton rookie, I would sell this and buy a beater. It's like, but I don't care. I don't particularly want a Walter Payton rookie card. It's just not part of my collection. I'm not a Bears. I've never really been a Bears collector. I love Bears cards, but it's just, I love looking at them. I don't love owning them. Like, I'll buy, like I bought a huge, like how many cards was about 15,000 Bears cards from the 70s and 80s. And I loved going through it. And I loved selling them even more. I loved getting rid of them. It was fun to have, fun to look through. I got a great deal on them. I think I paid $100 or maybe $150 for 15,000. I made that money back in like 2 days. I'm still like selling some of them. Made a lot of money on that deal. But no, I'm not a Bears collector. Not a Bears collector. Bargain Boxer, what's going on? Bargain Boxer says, should I do Dallas since the National was a bust? Yes. Do the National in I guess it's the November show. It's October 31st through like November 2nd, I think. John says, it sounds like a goddamn hot pocket. John says National was a bust. George says, I'd suck John's big toe for a hot pocket right now. Bargain Boxer says yes. Mikey says, I pick up the bulk deal I posted about tonight at 5 p.m. in Ohio. Very nice. So Mikey picked up a pretty cool, or is picking up a pretty cool lot, posted it in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. I think that's a great deal that you got on that. John says, Casey sounds like the last stop off before you're dropped off at rehab. For some, probably. It's probably clean at the moment since he picked out the gunk with the Garvey card. Bargain Boxer says, I go to the National for steals and deals. So yes, the National was a bust. Dallas? Steals and deals. It's not a flea market. Been to Dallas 4 times. It's not a flea market either. Bargain Boxer says, so should I hit up flea markets for steals and deals? Probably. John says, ooh, John, just coming in hot here. He says you should leave the hobby. Don't care where you end up. Bargain Boxer says, great advice. You sound like a fun person to party with. Max says, just getting in for the morning. Welcome back. Have a couple grievances from being out the past week. One, jam on a burger absolutely doesn't belong. Ooh, jam on a burger. Try it at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. Jam on a burger. Johnny M says it's a slice of heaven because if you eat enough, you will go to heaven faster. That's a good point. That is a good point. Valid point. John says you sound like a fun person to go to a card show with. Bargain Boxer and John, the gloves are off. He is. Hey, I can attest. I can say both Bargain Boxer and that 70s card show are fun people to go to a card show with. They may get along like oil and water, but I enjoy the company of both Bargain Boxer and that 70s card show at card shows, or hey, even a flea market. I bet they'd be fun at flea markets too. Max says, number 2, adding the S to Walmart or the National sounds like something out of Alabama. What? You never go to the Walmarts? Hero, figure it out. Gus Johnson sucks big time as an announcer. So number 1, I enjoy, like, do I put jam? Am I going to grill a burger in my backyard and put jam on it? No. If I go to a restaurant or the Sheraton Hotel, they have the bacon jam burger. It's really good. Try it. You'll like it. Number 2, I don't add the S, but really, does it matter? It used to annoy me a lot, but then some people in the chat like, you know what? It really doesn't matter. Number 3, I think I figured it out. Number 4, I love Gus Johnson. John says, I don't particularly seek out teams I supposedly support either. Oh, number 5, 34 is not old geezer, but there are plenty here who do qualify, as you did state. Royals 417, you will enjoy the Dallas show. After all, it was where I got to see that 70s card show for the first time. My mind has been blown since then. Brian says, electronics, it sells. I'm in the market for a new laptop, and I'm like, I really want to wait until there's like good sales, but that's like me being cheap. It's like, do I really want to wait like 3 months? Because I could really use a new one now. Because there's a lot, like there's a lot of stuff I can do, especially doing these categories. Like I'd like to do that from like I don't want to just sit down here at my desk. I can do that from the couch. If I had a better laptop, I have 2 laptops and they're both, well, one's like 12 years old. I haven't used it in a couple of years, but the other one that I use in my shipping room, it's not the best. Max says, first person I've heard say the National was a bust. I found tons of deals. Steals, people know about eBay now. You can find some steals at the National. You can find some steals. I am retraining myself to add an S to everything. Peeps in the house, good morning. Johnny M says flea markets, garage sales, and Facebook Marketplace is the best to get deal, or is where I get the best deals. I hate card shows. It's really something. Flea markets, garage sales are something. Facebook Marketplace, I peruse. I buy every once in a while, but I need to check out some. We don't have too many, especially here where I'm at in Madison. You have to go out further to find good flea markets. Garage sales, I get so, my problem is my impatience. Like, I feel like if I spend a few hours going to garage sales and come home with nothing, I feel like it was a big, giant waste of time. But that's also where you can find the best stuff. Like if you look at garagesale.com, or there's an app that has garage sale map, I think, which actually kind of sucks now. It used to be really good, and now I don't think people are using it. But if there's like baseball cards listed, you're going to have 50 people in competition. If you go to a random garage sale where nobody advertises, and sometimes here's a key: if you're at a garage sale, there may not be baseball cards out, but if you see like sports memorabilia or sports stuff there, ask. And they're like, oh yeah, I've got some baseball cards in the back. Like I've got one of my dealers who does that, and some of the stuff he's found at estate sales and garage sales by just asking, you happen to have any cards? And some amazing stuff he's found. George says the Chad between Bargain Boxer and John going off like Mike Petty and Tim Kim on SCR the other day. Ooh, what on was that Sports Card Radio or what's SCR? SCR Sports Card Radio, right? I'll have to check that out. Peeps used to be Peep. Now we all call him Peeps, thanks to the added S. Peep says, I do my number 2s down the Shaws. John says, steals can be found out Dallas. You just need to stack chairs for an hour and then see what happens. Bargain Boxer says, the difference is Mike Petty and Tim is that they take it serious. I don't take people serious. Joe Trotto says the National has gone too corporate. Did not like the layout this year. George says apparently $2 million steals are readily available in Dallas. Tracy says any flea market antique store in this area has been priced almost double what I can get for on eBay. Hasn't been worth it around Myrtle Beach. Max says the layout was great. Corporate and breakers weren't taking up real estate in the middle of the show. It was awesome. And that's, I wasn't there this year, so I can't comment on this year's layout. But I don't like, and what Max says, I don't like that about Rosemont. I don't like that Tops and all of the corporate stuff is right smack dab in the middle of the main floor. Now, I do like the autographs being way off in the corner. I like the breaker pavilion being off. I don't have to go through there. But it did suck last year in Chicago, Rosemont, that there were still like regular tables. You had to walk through the breaker pavilion to get to. It's like, can you put the breakers way out in the corner? Because I don't want to walk through the breaker. I don't want to hear the backyard breaks. Fucking backyard breaks gets a Guinness World Record. What the fuck? Fuck them. Fuck Guinness and their stupid beer and their stupid world records. What the fuck? So I don't want to walk through the breaker pavilion to get to tables. So John says Max is right. They put the corporates out of the way, and I think I like that. I would like that setup. Corporates out of the way, breakers out of the way, autographs out of the way. Just give me cards. Give me cards in one area. Put all the other shit off in the corner. And if anybody wants to go, they can go find it. Max says, think of it as 2 rooms, but the breakers and corporate were on the back walls of both and partially the side wall of the other along with TriStar. I would like that. I would have liked this year's setup then. George says it's Sports Card Radio, and that was a rather entertaining exchange. George says they did get a world record. Effing Tesla. Best deals are auctions on Sundays on eBay. Just my opinion. John says, I will say most of the dealers I bought from were in the white room, same as corporates, but separate. Peep says, I do my number 3s down the backyard breaks. Max says, I know most of us here hate Whatnot and or Backyard, but they have brought in a ton of new interest, money, unfortunately. Absolutely hate it. I'm the first person in that line. I know. I hate it too, but you are, I mean, it does bring new blood. It brings in a new generation of whether you like it or not. Because a lot of those collectors, whether you like it or not, will stick. Just because they don't collect vintage or collect how we collect doesn't mean they won't eventually. And, we all evolve in how we collect and what we collect for the most part. And so will some of the backyard fanboys. So while, yes, I think they're annoying as shit, they do bring a lot of new blood and stuff into the hobby. Money. Mark says, my dealer buddy of mine from New Jersey said he broke sales records at the National. Every day was strong. Bargain Boxer says, how about that Cybertruck? That was cool. I didn't see anything about a Cybertruck, but I think those are ugly as fuck. It's an F-Bomb Tuesday on Hobby Evolution. Cybertrucks, ugly as shit. Peep says, how much was a table set up at the National anyway? It's what's a booth's what, like $1,300, $1,200? What's a booth? The issue with the booth, they're like, oh, that's cheap. The issue is there's like 1,000 dealers on the waiting list. And so it's super hard to get a setup at the National. Even in Rosemont, it's with the, what's the Rosemont footprint? 1.5 times the Cleveland footprint. John says this year's Nationals will be the first show ever that a dealer cannot complain about business. They were all smiling. George says we got a nice new Bronco on display for our beer fest. Looks nice. Nice. So have I talked about how to price cards in bargain boxes? I don't think so. So pricing cards in bargain box. I get asked this at card shows. Like, how do you know what's a dollar card and what's a quarter card? And sometimes I don't. And sometimes it's like, oh, shit. I've had people come up to me. They're like, hey, I got, what was it? During COVID. I got a Klay Thompson rookie out of your quarter box. Sold for $50. Good. Can you say it louder? So, and actually this person said it in front of like 3 or 4 people digging. It's like, yes. I mean, that's great marketing right there. That's good PR. Found a $50 card in your quarter box. And I've had other card, I think it was Enrique Hernandez had a rated rookie. It was like he had very few rookies. He didn't have his Topps rookie card didn't have the rookie stamp on it. So that card was selling for high. And then he had like a Donruss rated rookie and they were selling for like $12 to $15. And one was in my quarter box. And I'm like, somebody pulled it out. And I'm like, that's a $15 card. And I knew I had one. I just didn't want to dig through 50,000 cards to find it. But somebody found it. And I'm like, good find. So sometimes, and sometimes stuff like that, where when I put that card in there, it was worth a quarter, but somebody gets hot in the postseason and all of a sudden there's demand for it and they sell for 10, 15, 20, whatever it is. So if I have a pile of cards, and let's just take this pile of cards. So I want to show you how I price cards. Now, I have a huge amount of cards that I buy. I've taken in 100,000 cards at least this summer. So I've just got a massive amount of cards that I'm kind of flooded with. So I'll put cards in the dollar box that maybe if I didn't have the amount of inventory I did, I wouldn't. I'd be buying them for $1 out of dollar boxes. And I think that's what makes a good dollar box booth table, is when somebody has too much inventory, they're just giving away cards. And that's when you come in, cherry pick. Okay, I like that. So here's just a random stack of cards I had lying around. So this is a Paul Molitor die cut numbered out of 1993. So this certainly would go into a dollar. I don't know if this is going to go into my dollar box. I'm going to look it up. I might have pulled this out of a dollar box myself. I don't know. What else do we have? First Bowman Chrome, Andrew Vaughn. That might be a refractor. It is a refractor. I'll probably slip that in a quarter box. I'm not going to have quarter boxes at my next show, but 1974 Topps, and this is a really nice, there's, some light corner dings. It's certainly it's off-centered, but, it's a pretty clean card. Burt Bly 11. That's going to be a dollar box card. Gunnar Henderson, pretty hot right now. I've got a bunch of these, so I might throw 1 or 2 in the dollar box. I might throw a couple in a quarter box. So, players like that sometimes get the dollar box treatment. Jackson Jobe, he's having a great season. Bowman Chrome insert, probably throw that in a dollar box. Meatloaf, fans of the game, I'll probably throw this in a quarter box. I could probably sell it on eBay for $2-3. What else? This is Sarunas Marcellonis. This is probably something I'll put on eBay, where it's an autograph. It's a legend, I guess, in some circles you could say. So that would probably be an eBay card for me. Jackson, this might be a dollar box card. At one time, this was a $15 card. I'll have to look up to see what these are selling for. I can still probably sell this for $5 on eBay, but the Jackson holiday market has sunk. Pat McAfee, this is a eBay card. This is about a $10 card. Jackson Merrill Bowman Chrome insert, Shades of Greatness. That'll be a quarter box card. These have sneaky value. Slam basketball from Hoops. These will probably go on eBay. These, depending on what it is, Could be $5 cards. And here's D Wade, and then certainly Luka Slam will sell. Jim Kelly rookie card, that'll go well. NFL rookie card, I guess, that'll sell on eBay. A Shaq NBA Hoops rookie, I think this will probably be a $1 box card. Those sell on eBay for a couple bucks. Shaq's market's crazy low. Thomas Bryant Lakers auto. This I actually might put in a $1 box. I don't think he's much of anything. So sometimes this guy Javion Hamlet, Prestige in his college uniform, that'll go in a $1 box. So that's just kind of an example of what I buy, but I also have a lot of excess inventory. Now, would I put autographs in a $1 box if I didn't have the amount of inventory I did? No. I might be cherry picking. Oh, I can get an autograph for $1. Maybe I can get 80 cents, in a bulk discount, 75 cents in a bulk discount, and flip it for $3 or $4 because that's kind of what I'm doing when I'm cherry picking $1 boxes. So that's kind of my mindset when I'm creating $1 boxes. John says Rosemont layout needs to be tweaked. 2023 was a horrible layout. Agree 100%. Absolutely. And I think I hope, well, we have new promoters this year, but we also have time. They have time to digest how that layout worked, where going into 2023, they just needed extra space. They just needed more space. And so it's like, we're just going to put, okay, if you want a table, you're going to be here. Where hopefully, but I know with the lottery system and all that, I don't know if it can be tweaked the right way. Hopefully they can tweak it the right way and at least get, okay, if you want a table, you're here, everybody else is here. But I'm optimistic that we will see the Rosemont layout tweaked from what it was last year. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I hope. T206 kid, how about this? One of the cards from the reseller lot I bought from you sold for $20 last night. And the resale lots, you get those cards for what, 6-8 cents a card? I still have some in my eBay store. I'm curious, what card was it that sold for $20? That's very cool. Brian says, nice. T206 kid says, to Mark, Ted asked me to go to work for him there at the National. I passed, had to work. Wrong. Bryant Lakers auto. Yes, it was. So that's how I price the bargain boxes. My next, I haven't thrown my eBay store link up, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more items at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. Yesterday, I added some player lots, some 50 count player lots, all different cards in each lot. Mike Schmidt, Cal Ripken Jr., Pudge Rodriguez. Who else? There was one other player, Ozzie Smith. So those player lots, you can get that 25% discount on lots, on cards, singles, whatever. It's all items. It's store-wide, 25% off. 7 items or more, 99centcards.com. Also spent a lot of time working on dollar boxes last night as well. What else? There was one other. My next, speaking of bargain boxes that I was working on last night, I will have dollar boxes and maybe dime boxes, depends on how many dollar boxes I create. But I'll probably just throw some dime boxes out in Janesville, Wisconsin, coming up Sunday, August 11th. I'll be there right as you walk in the front door. So come see me in Janesville, Wisconsin, Sunday, August 11th. Go see Brian down in Quincy, Illinois. He's starting a new card show down in Quincy, when was the last time there was a card show in Quincy? And Quincy's a decent sized city. What's Quincy? 50,000, 60,000? So Quincy's a decent sized city with no card show footprint. So check that out. Quincy, Illinois, the Gem City Card Show on October 5th. So Brian putting this one on. Congrats to Brian. We've chatted quite a bit over the last year, and he's finally taken that leap, the leap of faith, and he started the Gem City Card Show October 5th in Quincy. T206 Kid says it was the 96 Bob Hamlin card, voted worst card of all time. Very nice. Very nice. Brian says Quincy used to have a mall show. It's been a minute. There you go. But they're having one now, October 5th. Gem City, baby. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. We will do this again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.-ish. Got to take Biscuit out for her morning potty and pills at 7 a.m., so usually a few minutes delayed. So tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.-ish, Central Time. Tomorrow's trash day also, Wednesday already. Alrighty, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.